Well, to put some people's fear at a little bit of a lesser state, any newer nuclear reactor that shuts down goes down all by itself, and it cools down all by itself. It goes into its own reaction. You can literally take all the people in the control room and walk them away, and the reactor will cool down all by itself. This one, being started in 1967, finished in 1971, did not have that capability. I even talked to some engineers. I said, couldn't you just retrofit that? And they go, there's just no possible way. There's no possible way to retrofit this. A series of things went wrong. There's no question that not just one thing went wrong, but many, many things went wrong for this to get to this point. First of all, the earthquake stopped the reactors. They shut down automatically. The tsunami shut down what with 13 separate generators to make power to pumps that would pump water to this thing, or these reactors. There were 3 of them running. All 13 of those failed because of the water coming over the top. Then they had battery backup. Well, there was only 8 hours worth of battery. They shipped in batteries as fast as they could, and everything was just fine until today, when a pump that they were using, it was fueled with gas or diesel, I don't know, but the pump was pumping seawater into the reactor number 2. It ran out of gas. What is going on? So as it ran out of gas, the water stopped pumping, it stopped cooling itself, and the partial meltdown happened. This is a boiling water reactor, kind of first generation reactor. We don't make these too many anymore, if they even make them at all. I don't believe that they do. But water comes in from the ocean, it cools the very hot steam that it's created by the reactor itself. Even if you have a coal-fired plant, they burn coal to boil water. The water boils into steam, into pressure. The pressure turns a generator. The generator makes power, and it goes to your house. We're not burning coal here. We're literally burning uranium-235. And so as it burns, as it heats up, the water steams, it turns the generator, it comes back down. It's cooled by the water here, comes back in, it goes again. It goes around and around and around, and it never stops. Unless you have an earthquake and a tsunami, then it stops. This pump, this water coming in here stopped. So therefore, everything else in here stopped. The reactor stopped as well. The reaction stopped, but there's all this residual heat that could take, well, from what I heard from Glenn, my professor up in Georgia Tech, could take 100 days for these rods to literally cool down. 100 days, 3 months. And they lost water to this thing 3 days into it. So they have to keep pumping seawater. Forget all about this. This doesn't even exist anymore. They've taken it and they pump seawater in here just to try to cool down the rods. Well, it eventually boils all that water away, and they release it. That's what happened when that one reactor blew up. It wasn't a nuclear reaction, but it was the hydrogen up here. So they keep pumping in seawater, but it keeps boiling out. So they have to keep pumping it in, and if we have to do this for 3 months before these rods actually cool down, none of this is going to occur anymore. This is a dead reaction. These reactors are never going to come back online.